everyone able to see my screen? Fantastic. My name is Sarah Ivy, and we have Sloan King on. We're both from the Institute for People, Place, and Possibility, and just appreciate the opportunity to be here today and talk with you all. I'm going to hand it over to Sloan, but while I still have the mic, just want to thank Sarah and Rima in particular for having us today and liaising throughout this project and working with us. And I also want to acknowledge Jessica Wong, who's on the call, who's also with IP3 and has done so much work to get us here. So thank you, Jessica.
Hi, can everyone hear me? I just want to make sure I'm, okay, good. My name is Sloan King, and I am also with the Institute for People, Place, and Possibility. And we're a nonprofit organization working to create healthy, equitable, and sustainable communities. And then one of the big ways that we do that is through stewarding the website communitycommons.org. So some of you may or may not have heard of Community Commons, but we're going to tell you a little bit today about the site in general and also kind of our partnership with IHI and migrating this content, this Change Library content over to the site. So our goal is really on the Commons is really to equip and build capacity for those working to improve their community. So anyone, we use the term change makers, and I would argue probably everyone on this call is a change maker on our definition. We know that that's broad and a little bit far reaching. So there's people working on so many different areas, on so many different things, which are all important, but we try to make it easy to navigate through the content on the site so that you can really find content that's applicable to you and your work. So obviously we've got a big search bar here at the top. You can search there to find useful things that you're looking for. We've got curated resources, stories, data, tools, a lot of the same type of content that Sarah was just walking us through. You can use the search. You can see that we have featured topics, and then it will bring up a bunch of different results. You can also use the filter on the right-hand side to filter if you're looking for, you just want some stories or you want a data source or something like that. So that's a nice tool on the site as well. We also wanted to bring attention to the channels. Take it a second to load here. Yeah, the channels over on the left-hand side. So that's another way to easily navigate through content, quick sources there, and then you can see that the way that the site was designed was really with these powerful back-end linkages to surface results that are relevant to what you're searching or relevant to that channel or relevant to any type of content you come upon that you may or may not have thought about beforehand. So we like to say it'll surface content and information that you didn't even know you need, which is really one of the main things we're excited about through integrating all of the Change Library content into the Commons. Thanks, Sarah, for scrolling through here. Yeah, we just want to, the way that the content is organized, I think, is a key piece that we want to highlight because it's really reflective of the acknowledgement that the conditions in which we live are all interrelated and all impact our health and well-being. And so we try to make sure that the content kind of reflects that as well. So that is a quick tour. So I want to tell you a little bit about the project of migrating this content over to Community Commons. Existing content was migrated over, and then now new bright spots, tools, and stories are being submitted. So we have a form on the website, which we'll share, where anyone can submit new bright spots and stories, which will be incorporated into this library of content. We're excited because this partnership not only adds sustainability to this important content because it's going to live in perpetuity on Community Commons, but it also integrates content, as I was just saying, kind of with other relevant content. The whole idea is to advance shared learning, learn from each other, and then also amplify these learnings through positioning this content, the important work that y'all have all done throughout this 100 Million Healthier Lives movement for others who maybe weren't involved, the larger Community Commons audience. So we're really excited to have all of this on the site. And so the first things that everyone can do to go on the website on Community Commons and find their content is to create an account. You can see up on the right-hand side, this will pop up. It will prompt you to create an account. It's free. You just put your email, name, password. That's it. We won't bother you. But we would also recommend that you sign up for our Community Commons newsletter. So if you go on to Community Commons and scroll down to the bottom of the page, there'll be there in the bottom right, there's a link or a form. If you put your email in there, you'll be signed up for the Community Commons newsletter. It's just a bi-weekly newsletter, but we wanted to highlight it today because this coming Wednesday, we're actually putting out a special edition Change Library Community Commons newsletter. So if you guys could take a second to sign up between now and Wednesday, it'll be really convenient because you'll have all of those links sent right to your inbox on Wednesday, some featured resources from the project as well. Yeah, so just want to talk a little bit before turning it over to Sarah about how you can leverage Change Library content on Community Commons, and then I think Sarah's going to dig into walking through exactly how you can kind of use some of our tools to embed into your website. But first we have what's called a library page on Community Commons, and so we've put all of the 100 Million Healthier Lives Change Library content together in one place called the library page. So you can see here an introduction to the content, and then it's really nice because it's kind of a one-stop shop and it's all organized by the type of resources. You can see if you're looking for policies, you can click and it'll take you all the way down to those specific policies. So this is a nice way that we've organized the content. We also have a blog post on the site that announces the partnership and kind of has some key links where you can find everything. So you can see there's the library page, but then we also have a Bright Spots collection of content. And we scroll down a tiny bit. Yeah, Bright Spots. And then we have some highlighted resources. So we've already talked about the Engaging People with Lived Experience Toolkit, which we're excited to have on the site, and a couple other ones as well. The other one we wanted to just highlight is, so here's this toolkit, which we're excited about. And I know Ziz is going to go into more detail in a little bit later today. And then we also have a couple other key pieces we wanted to highlight, including the Community of Solutions framework collection. So on the Commons, we also have the capability to kind of put everything into a collection, and that's what we've done here. So it has the framework and put together with some pieces submitted by 100 Million Healthier Lives members in a really digestible way, which hopefully should help folks apply that framework to their work. So there's a bunch of different collections in here. We've worked with IHI to put together a couple different collections, as well as having all the content on the Change Library page. So we're really excited for you all to hopefully dig in and share this content and contribute more through the story submission page, the Bright Spot submission page. So I'll turn it over to Sarah now. She's going to walk you through some of the details.
Yeah, so our first objective was to help members find their content, and just a little bit more on the Change Library project. We were able to bring over all types of content from the previous website, and so you can find it all here. You can search for it through our main search interface. If you have the name of your community or your story and you do a search, you should be able to find it that way. We've also lifted up a page, Stories from 100 Million Healthier Lives. So this includes all of those pieces that were previously on live stories, and it includes reflections from scale communities and others. So those are really two of the main sources that you'll want to make sure that you can access in trying to find this great content from the movement. There are a lot of links, so we created a user support profile for the Change Library and 100 Million members. So walk through what we thought would be questions coming up. What are bright spots? How do I find them? how do I submit my story through the lived experience campaign, all of the key resources that Sloan mentioned. I'm going to drop this link into the chat now. It should answer most of your questions. If you have other questions and trying to find something or just general questions, you will be able to put them in through that user support interface. And we have a handy little help button which connects to that user support material, including the package we put together for 100 million and other members for Community Commons. If you're not finding what you need there, you'll be able to submit the question to our team and we'll get back to you. So that user support package is a great place to start. In addition to showing you how to find all of your content, we wanted to share how you can use what is on Community Commons on your own website. And I'm not keeping track of time, so I'll try to go fast here. I know that we're up against it. Wanted to and there is more material that you'll be able to find through that user support site. But if you find your story, you can use this icon here. It generates an embed code that you can copy and paste and drop into your own website and create a card, an active link that includes the image and the title and those pieces directly on your website. The ability, if you become a member, to like and save and share. So we have the ability to share through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and email these stories too. So this is useful in that these stories that you all have created can continue to live on your own website and be there for funders and partners to see the outcomes of all that work. The other piece that adds sustainability for our members that we wanted to just quickly highlight, and it's a long page, is the Connect and Share tool. The Connect and Share tool can be found on the left nav bar, and it's pretty neat. You can select a topic that we have published on Community Commons, climate crisis, community engagement, racism, health, food insecurity, or you can search for anything you want. So you want to create a library of 100 million content on your own website. By just searching a term, a key term, it will create a widget that then you can embed into your own site. So similar to embedding those individual collections, you can copy and paste this iframe and drop it into your own site. We did this quickly with a blog post on the IP3 blog, just as an example. And so now you've created your own resource library. We also wanted to highlight how you can continue to contribute the stories of your successes through 100 million healthier lives and your work on the ground. We right now have a campaign. We are assisting with the Lives Improved campaign, I should say, to share your story of health, well-being, and equity in your community. So we have this form up on Community Commons. It's a simple Google form. Takes you through a number of questions that the measurement team at 100 million has put together. And in collecting this information, we are creating new stories for members. So these will show up in that 100 million healthier lives, or stories from 100 million healthier lives page that I mentioned, and elsewhere through our Community Commons. So just we look forward to getting these submissions and pulling them up. You can add images and graphics the same way that you may have with the live stories piece, and contact us if you have any information. We have ongoing story collection, so even after this ends, you'll be able to continue to share stories through Community Commons. The other thing we wanted to highlight, and this is a feature that's only available to members, so you'll have to sign up if you want to contribute resources. But in the same way that you contributed resources to the Change Library, you're able to continue contributing those resources to the Change Library and Community Commons overall. So we'll just ask for the name, a link, and you can put in any other information, and you can relate it to topics quite easily there. I will pause and just ask if there are any questions or anything that might be helpful to demo, although I know that we're probably getting close on time.
Sarah, I saw a question from Shemeka while Sloan was talking, and I'll just read it to you so you don't have to scroll back. It says, this is great. Is there an option for contributors to connect to their content together via search and favorites?
That's a good question, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you might envision doing there. The best, Sloan was describing our collections feature, and so one really good way to bring content together is with that feature. The favoriting is your own personal, is on your own profile, so that won't show up publicly. But Shemeka, it'd be great to hear a little bit more about what you might want to do there, but can definitely bring content together through that collections feature at least. Somebody searched your name. Yep, it should show up in that search. Yeah, so the search is a full text search of content. So those long stories should be in there, as well as all the descriptions that we have for any individual contributed resource. Sloan, I'm going to turn it back over to you to bring us home.
Yes, thanks, Sarah. Cool. So we're just so excited to have all this content on the site. We had a couple just quick action items for everybody moving forward. Please become a member of Community Commons. That's where you'll be able to find everything. Again, sign up for our Community Commons newsletter. We'll be sending that special edition out on Wednesday, and we send out the newsletter every 2 weeks. So that's all you're signing up for if you get that. If you do sign up for that, you'll be able to find the member content through all of the links and helpful navigation tips that Sarah just shared. And then please do use the embed tools. Play around with the connect and share. Use that embed code. It's a really easy copy and paste. We were just playing around with it again this morning on our blog. So would really encourage you to do that. And please share, like if you do embed your story or anything onto your own website, share with us that you did that. You can find us on social media, connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And if you do that, please send us a message on any of those channels and just say, hey, I shared it. You know, this is where I've embedded it, and we will share that again, because we love to just see people interacting with the site and sharing the content in different ways. So please do. And thank you so much for letting us come and share a little bit about the Commons. And yeah, thanks for this collaboration. We're really excited to get this content integrated.
Yeah, thank you so much.